Ladies and gentle toast. 2 weeks ago, I asked you guys to give me your questions after hitting 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. Yes, thank you very much for that. Right now, we are going to be reading your questions. Before we start, I'm going to go over the questions that I specifically said not to ask. And a couple of you, you know who you are, have actually done them and asked them. Even though I told you specifically I will not be answering them because either A, I've answered them too much, or B, I'm not even going to be able to have an answer for them. So anyway, starting off with this, we have, how do I make graphics? Very simple. If I were to make a video on it, it would probably not even be worth being a video, it would just be worth being a short, to be honest with you. They're pretty simple, to be honest, and you could also look up other videos on how to make graphics on mobile devices as well, because I'm not just the only source here, to be honest. The second question that I asked you guys not to ask is how do I make my tracks. I already have a couple videos out on those, so there's no need for me to really answer that question. And then the third question is how do I make my damaged diecast. Tyler, my buddy Miscraft, he's already had a video out on that, and I basically followed the exact same steps as he does in that video, so please go ahead and watch that one, because that is the one where he explains what to do and what not to do, and especially to do with duplicates and parental supervision. If you don't do that, that's a no-no. And then the fourth and final question that I get a lot is where do I get my cars? So it could be diecast, Target, Walmart, Trax, Amazon, eBay, Google. I look it up. I type into the search bar and say NASCAR diecast 164 scale or 124 scale, no matter what you collect. But yeah, it's a very simple search that you just gotta look up, and then boom, there they are. Anyways, with that all said and done, let's get to it. Let's get to the actual questions. Looks like I'm wearing a neck brace with this thing. Okay, so a couple of the questions that were asked here are repeats, or were just asked by multiple people. So I will try my best to get everybody in as I can. So anyways, here we go. We're starting off with the first one. I'm going to be going from the top of the comment section all the way down to the bottom. So hopefully that will be good enough to get everything in and out. So if your comment doesn't show up, I apologize. It was either that comment is either a question that I've already answered, or is a question that I will not answer, since I already went over it at the beginning of the video. First question from Hayden F101. He asks, how long does it usually take to make and edit a stop motion video? Now I think a couple other people have asked this as well, so I'll probably put their questions up here as well. Usually they take about 2 weeks to about a month to get a really good one in, like a really good race in. The shortest amount of time that I've ever taken to film an entire race, the longest being like 2 months. That's the longest that it took me to take care of all of that. The shortest amount of time that it took me to completely film and edit a video was about a couple days. That was when I had no life. But yeah, that's how it usually takes. Usually just takes about a couple days to about 2 months, depending on the project or the race. Dylan Hurdy asks, what is your favorite part of the process of making a stop motion and why? The crashes. They are fun to do. Not just coming up with them, but just the aspect of having to, you know, change it up a bit in the filming process, because usually filming one lap takes about an hour. So that's, yeah, and if you're going to be having like a 15 to 20 lap race, it's going to be a good change of pace to add a crash in or two. Especially when the cars are damaged. It adds a lot more of a creative factor to the entire process, which makes it a lot more fun, and all in all, just more interesting. So this one from Central YT, they asked about the diecasts, but their question is a little bit different because it says here that they are from Canada, and says that they are hard to get, which is understandable. But I don't exactly have a question. I don't have an answer to that question. I'm not entirely sure if Circle B Diecast actually ships to Canada. I can't remember, but I don't really remember which site ships worldwide. It would be really helpful to know that, but I unfortunately do not. So, to be honest, I'm not sure how to answer that question for you. But they did ask 2 questions, and the second one is, how many crashed diecasts do you have now? I don't know. I lost count. After the season 2 fiasco of crashed cars about every single race, I lost count since then. I think in season 3 I had a damaged diecast for at least every single race except for one, which I think was Watkins Glen. That was the only race that I remember I did not have a damaged diecast in this current season. And then from MMCS, yes, the real MMCS, Mr. Eminem Cup Series, does the compilations. He has about 35,000 subscribers. Yes, that MMCS, that Eminem's Cup Series. He asks me, what is your favorite stop motion you've ever done? That's a good question. I'm gonna be honest. It's a really tough draw for me, because there are a ton of stop motions that I absolutely loved, and there are others that I've absolutely hated. But if I were to say as to which one was my favorite of all time, I would probably go with the most recent Auto Club race, aka the only Auto Club race at the time I'm filming this. So yeah, I would probably say that that's probably my favorite race that I've filmed. Not just because it's my home track, but also because it was pretty damn fun to film. Juan 8 the Jet. Oh my good. Juan 8 the Jet Dryer 75 asks, if you at some point make a race using fantasy cars with subscribers driving, what number of subscribers would you aim for to do this? I don't think I'll ever really do a race where where subscribers have to sign up for everything, because that would be very, very chaotic, really, really quick. Especially if I do it past this point in like 2000, because 2000 alone is enough to to deal with. But then having to do signups at that point, that's quite a lot to deal with and a lot to keep track of. On top of that, I probably wouldn't be able to do that because of the limited amount of spots, because I'm obviously not going to have a 2,000 car race through just for a couple subscribers to get good finishes, and then everyone else get mad because somebody finished last. Because I really don't want to do that, because if I do signups, like a sign-up stop motion race, it's going to feel really rigged really quick. Because if somebody signs up for, let's say, Denny Hamlin, and he wins 3 races, whoever signed up for Denny Hamlin's really happy, because obviously they chose a good driver. But if somebody chooses somebody like Kaz Gralla, for example, they're probably not even going to get a single top 20 finish. And that's when things get really rocky and all that, and it's like, and then it would probably be like first come first serve kind of thing. And the only real good solution to this would be having each and every driver in the field have an equal amount of shot to the win. But that would make for a very unrealistic race, in my opinion, and I kind of don't want to do that. But yeah, it is a good idea, but just executing it would be a very difficult task. This next one comes from Lively M42, and he asks, how do you store your tracks? Well, as of right now, because of my whole residential fire situation, we've had to move some stuff into a unit that for the stuff that was in the surviving house. So as of right now, we have the majority of my tracks inside that storage unit. The rest of them are safe and locked into a room in the surviving house. But how I would store them is I would just simply have them stacked against the wall in an area that is out of the way. That is mostly where I would store them, or how I would store them. You just stack them against the wall, lean them. I don't like stack them like I don't stack them like on top of each other. I just lean them against the wall, basically. That's all I really do. I think that's what most people do when it comes to storing tracks. So pretty basic, but yeah, that's basically how I store them. Speed Cup Stop Motion asks, what got you into NASCAR stop motion? I feel like this is going to be a question that a lot of content creators in the stop motion community, especially NASCAR stop motion community, are going to be get asked. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of basic answers, but Aflac Cup Series, Eric Estep, those two are in my opinion, the juggernauts of the last generation of stop motion creators. I would throw Speed Zone Productions as well, because he had some really good races in there too. And I feel like World NASCAR Champions, he got me into a couple as well as MMCS. And I would sneak Misscraft into there, but I didn't really start watching his stop motions until a little bit before I started making my own. So I guess you could say that he did inspire me as well. But yeah, as of right now, those are the people that really got me into NASCAR stop motion. NASCAR Coca-Cola Racing Network asks, what is your favorite NASCAR sponsor? Hopefully Coca-Cola. I do like Coca-Cola. I do prefer it over Pepsi. Come at me, boys. But I'll be honest, I don't really think I have a favorite sponsor. If I were to say a sponsor that I would like, it would probably be a sponsor of a driver that is one of my favorites, obviously. Who is my favorite NASCAR YouTuber? I gotta say Eric Estep, because the amount of videos that he puts out and the amount of media attention that he gets is incredible, and especially with how far he's come from making stop motions to making little news episodes, or just like stuff like that, and how it's gotten him so far into the NASCAR community. It's just really cool to see how that is possible. So yeah, I would say that he would be my favorite. He would be my favorite NASCAR YouTuber. How long do I plan to do this? That is a very, very good question, and the answer to that is I have no clue. I'm probably just gonna be going until I can't no more. But as of right now, I would like to reach season 10. Obviously, that's a very long ways away, because we're only 3 seasons in. They gotta do 7 more. So yeah, it's going to be a long road. I'm not entirely sure when or if I'm going to be able to make it to season 10, because that is mostly where I would say that is enough. But unless I decide to keep on going, there's only one way to find out. But yeah, that's a really good question, and I'm not entirely sure how long, but I have a rough idea that I would like to get to 10 seasons of this series. What's your favorite real-life NASCAR race you've watched? By the way, love the channel, keep it up. Well, thank you. So my favorite real-life NASCAR race has got to be one of the ones that I went to in person. Now, this year I've gone to 3 tracks, and 3 races, technically 4. But I went to Auto Club, I went to the Truck and Cup Sonoma race, and then I went to the most recent Las Vegas race. You guys would probably know, seeing all the vlogs. But I I would say that Auto Club would probably be my favorite race I've been to, mostly because of the racing and all that. If I didn't go to Auto Club this year, I probably would say that Sonoma would be my favorite race, because that's where I got to see Daniel Suarez win his first career win, or win his first career race. But yeah, I would definitely say that Auto Club is my favorite race that I've ever gone to or ever seen. So yeah. NASCAR guy asks, what camera do I use? Fun fact, I do not use a camera. I use my phone, which is a 12 Pro Max. I've been using it for a while now. I used to use this phone right here, this iPhone 8 Plus. But yeah, I've used this phone that I'm recording with right now. I've used it for about, I want to say, a little over a year now. Getting close to 2 years now, but yeah, I've been using it for a long time. And as you can see, it's gotten me very far as well. Are you going to make any more NASCAR memes? Yours were really funny to me. I'm not entirely sure how many more NASCAR memes I will be making. As of right now, I don't really see a whole lot that I could really do. Obviously, there's a lot of ideas out there with the memes, but I don't want this channel to be memed based, because the first 3, I think maybe even the first 5 of my most popular videos are memes, let alone just regular like races and all that. Because my most viewed race, being the Season 3 Daytona 500, has 11,000 views, while my most viewed video is a meme with 17,000 views. And that is a little, I'm grateful for it, but at the same time I'm annoyed by it, because I put so much more effort into making races, and then just a little low effort meme gets more views than that, almost twice the amount of views than that. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure when I'll be going back to memes. The Cole Custard channel, that has been dead for about a year now, so I don't know if I'll be going back to any memes for a while. How did you become a NASCAR fan? I mostly became a NASCAR fan because my grandmother, who has since passed away, we were watching a race. I think it was like a 2008 Talladega race. That's what I remember. I think that's what that was that we watched. I'm not exactly sure, but it might have been the one that Kyle Busch won. Because ever since then, I was like a Kyle Busch fan all the way to like 2016. I think it's pretty obvious why I was a Kyle Busch fan. Or I wasn't necessarily. Well, no, I wasn't really a Kyle Busch fan until 2016. I was more like a Kyle Busch fan all the way until I figured out that Gordon was a thing, and then ever since then I was a Gordon fan. And then 2016 happened. I was Chase Elliott fan. Been a Chase Elliott fan since then. So yeah, essentially that was the race that really got me into NASCAR, and then I was watching NASCAR races with my grandma ever since then, because I even remember seeing Austin Dillon's flip at Daytona with her live as well. So that was an interesting day, to be honest with you. Alright, now here's a really good question that I feel like really needs to be answered, because I don't think this one can really go left cold. But Ninja Xavier 2 asks, how many banana can become from a banana plant in 100 years if you include all offspring of 7.8% planting rate and with 90.3 bananas per year? I'm not gonna lie to you, but this is a very, very good question. Might be the best one so far. But yeah, I personally think that potassium is the answer. But obviously you got Gorilla that could eventually throw a monkey wrench into the problem. Anyways, Mr. Randomness asks, favorite diecast you own? I technically don't have it on hand with me right now because all of my diecasts are currently in the storage unit as we speak. So, I don't really have them on hand, and I can't really show them on camera. But, favorite diecast that I own, it would probably be Dale Jr.'s Final Ride. Like his Final Ride throwback car, because my grandma got that for me, off of QVC of all things. But yeah, I got it for my birthday, and yeah. What is your favorite sport besides NASCAR? Formula 1 so far. Yeah, Formula 1 has been my favorite sport outside of NASCAR. If we were talking about outside of motorsports, I would say that I don't really have a favorite one. I feel like the closest I would get to having a favorite one outside of motorsports would be baseball, even though I don't really watch it. But yeah, definitely Formula 1 would be my favorite sport other than NASCAR. And if you guys are wondering, I am a Charlotte Leclerc fan. Yeah, I'm depressed. What are you gonna do about it? Call my therapist. I don't have one. Joke's on you. Alright, this next question comes from a guy called Misscraft. He asks, what is your opinion on airplane food? I'll be honest, I don't remember ever eating on an airplane. The only time that I remember being on an airplane was when I was about a wee little lad, probably around this high. You probably couldn't even see my forehead or my hairline above this frame. Anyways, that was the last time I remember actually flying a plane. The last time I ever remember being even close to them. So, yeah, it's been a very long time since I've flown, so I don't even remember how good or even how decent or even how disgusting airplane food is. So, yeah. Misscraft has also asked, when is 3,000 subs? Why don't you give me a shout out, bro? Give me a shout out and then we'll fix that problem. Please. I need it. All jokes, you don't have to do that. Next question is, do you
interpolate
your animations? I do. Well, I used to. Because I don't think I'm going to be doing it next season at all. Because I usually did it for replays this season. And that did not turn out too well. So, aka it looked dookie. So I'm probably not gonna do it again. Yeah, I'm not gonna be adding that feature to my stop motions ever again. So yeah, very simple question to ask. Next question is, can you do a NASCAR collection video? No. It is a big collection, and when I mean big collection, I mean it would probably go into 3 parters, 3 1-hour parters. That is ridiculous. I don't think I'm going to be able to go through that. So, I don't think I'm going to be able to do a collection video because of how big the collection is. So, if people were looking forward to that, I am sorry, I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately. Next question is from Ninja Xavier 2 once again, but it's a different question and it's a new question too. So, he asks, "Do you like astronomy?" Indeed, I do. I do believe that space is pretty, but it's also scary. We are tiny little ants on this ball that we call Earth. We are going to die. Next question is, what your favorite stop motion race? All creators, or it can be you. I don't really know, to be honest. I don't know what to give you. Well, no, that's a lie, because I actually do think that Miss Craft's Kansas finale race, that was a banger, if you ask me. And I'm not saying that because I cameo in it, but yeah, that was actually a really good race to watch, especially with the intensity of the Final Four and the championship on the line. That was perfectly executed by Tyler. He broke a couple of Blaney's fans' hearts, though. Oh, I gotta give him that, though. It's not a championship race unless someone's hearts get broken. And then the last, but certainly not least, is from It's from Northwest Cup Series, and they ask, when do we collaborate again? Bozo. I don't know, you ask me. I don't really have an answer for that one. You ask me. You know you have my Discord. You know it. But yeah, that is basically all of the questions asked and then answered. So, there you go. Thank you guys for answering. Thank you guys for asking your questions in the community tab. And especially thank you guys for 2,000 subscribers. I really do hope that we actually can reach 3,000 sooner than later. As of an update on the Clash, that is probably not going to be touched for a very long time, because we are just trying to find housing as of right now. So yeah, any kind of stop motion has been put on hold for the time being. Essentially everything has been postponed. I feel like as of like now, the video of the Clash would be out by now, but it is not. So yeah, and also I did plan to have multiple different teasers for the Clash, so you might want to look out for those. But yeah, that's basically going to have to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for your questions. Thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you guys so much for 2,000 subscribers. Let's get to 3,000 before we can hold our breaths and pass out. Don't actually do that though, because you might die. Anyways, my friends, thank you guys for everything, all of your support, all of your great wishes upon my safety and my family's safety, and just to find housing after I have announced about the house fire. But yes, anyways, thank you guys, and I will see you all in the next one.